The Book of Psalms. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord,
of my son.
and in his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff
I've been hot
which
since
the
the
wind
birth of my
drives
son.
away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous,
I've been hot
but
since
the
the
way
birth
of the
of my son.
ungodly shall perish. Psalm 2. Why do the nations rage, and the people plot a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying,
I've been hot since the birth
Let
of my
us break
son.
their bonds in pieces, and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall hold them in derision. Then he shall speak to
I've
them
been
in
hot
his
since the
wrath,
birth of my son.
and distress them in his deep displeasure. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord has said to me, You are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance, and the ends of the earth
I've
for
been
your
hot
possession.
since the birth of my son.
You shall break them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Now therefore be wise, O kings. Be instructed, you judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear,
Now
and
some
rejoice
girl
with
puts her
trembling.
side about.
Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish in the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all those who put their trust in him.
I've been hot since the birth of my
Psalm
son.
3. A psalm of David when he fled from Absalom his son. Lord,
I've been hot since the birth of my son.
call me. Many are they who rise up against me. Many are they who say of me, There is no help for him in God. Selah. But you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory, and the one who lifts up my head. I cried to the Lord with my voice,
I've been
and
hot
he
since the
heard me
birth of
from
my
his holy
son.
hill. Selah. I lay down and slept. I awoke, for the Lord sustained me. I will not be afraid of
I've been hot
10,000
since the
of
birth
people
of my son.
who have set themselves against me all around. Arise, O Lord.
I've been hot since the birth of my
Save
son.
me, O my God. For you have struck all my enemies on the cheekbone. You have broken the teeth of the ungodly.
I've been hot since the birth of my son.
Salvation belongs to the Lord. Your blessing is upon your people. Selah. Psalm 4. To the chief musician, with stringed instruments,
I've been hot since the birth of
a
my
psalm
son.
of David. Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. You have relieved me in my distress.
I've been hot since
Have
the birth
mercy
of
on
my
me,
son.
and hear my prayer. How long, O you sons of men, will you turn my glory to shame? How long will you love worthlessness and seek falsehood? Selah. But know that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him.
I've been hot
Be
since the birth
angry
of my
and do
son.
not sin.
I've been high since the birth of my
Meditate
son.
within your heart on your
I've been
bed
high since the birth of my
and
son.
be still. Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord. There are many who say, "Who will show us any good?" Lord,
I've been high since the
lift
birth
up
of my
the light
son.
of your countenance upon us. You have put gladness in my heart, more than in the season that their grain and wine increased. I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Psalm 5. To the chief musician, with flutes, a psalm of David.
I've been high since the birth
Give
of my
ear to
son.
my words, O Lord. Consider my meditation. Give heed to the voice of my cry, my King and my God. For to you I will pray. My voice you shall hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning I will direct it to you, and I will look up. For you are not a God who takes pleasure in
I've been
wickedness,
the birth of my son.
nor shall evil dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand in your sight. You hate all workers of iniquity. You shall destroy those who speak falsehood. The Lord abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into your house in the multitude of your mercy. In fear of you, I will worship toward your holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in your
I've been
righteousness
son since the birth of my
because
high.
of my enemies. Make your way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is destruction. Their throat is an open tomb. They flatter with their tongue.
Son,
Pronounce them guilty, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against you. But let all those rejoice who put their trust in you. Let them ever shout for joy, because you defend them. Let those also who love
I've
your
been high
name
since the birth
be
of my
joyful
son.
in you. For you, O Lord, will bless the righteous. With favor, you will surround him as with a shield. Psalm 6. To the chief musician, with stringed instruments, on an 8-stringed harp, a psalm of David. O Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger, nor chasten me in your hot displeasure.
I've been high
Have
since the
mercy
birth
on
of
me,
my
O
son.
Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are troubled. My soul also is greatly troubled. But you, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver me. O save me for your mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance
I've been
of
high
you.
since the birth of my
In the
son.
grave who will give you thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All night I make my bed swim. I drench my couch with my tears. My eye wastes away because of grief. It grows old because of all my enemies.
I've been high since the birth of my son.
Depart
I've been
from me,
high since the birth
all
of my
you
son.
workers of
I've been
iniquity.
high since the birth of my
For
son.
the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and greatly troubled. Let them turn back and be ashamed suddenly. Psalm 7. A meditation of David, which he sang to the Lord concerning the words of Cush, a Benjamite. O Lord my God, in you I put my trust. Save me from all those who persecute me, and deliver me, lest they tear me like a lion, rending me in pieces while there is none to deliver. O Lord my God, if I have done this, if there is iniquity in my hands, if I have repaid evil to him who was at peace with me, or have plundered my enemy without cause. Let the enemy pursue me and overtake me. Yes, let him trample my life to the earth, and lay my honor in the dust. Selah.
I've been hot since the birth of my son.